Okay, it's time for a little sneak peek at the class we have coming up on June 25th, which is on three different Enneagram triads that a lot of people aren't aware of. So Noah, why don't you give us a little look at these three triads?
Yeah. So we'll just really quickly glaze over the fact that the triads you probably do know is the centers of intelligence. Many folks out there are familiar with the body triad up here, the heart triad over here, the head triad here. Those centers of intelligence triads, very important, but those are not what we're talking about in this workshop. We're going to be talking about three new sets of triads that you very likely haven't heard of, and they offer us really deeply nuanced looks at the Enneagram. Our first set that we're looking at are these social styles, right? Our ways of navigating through the world to get our needs and wants met, right? So, do we reach out and grab what we want in life? Or do we try to earn what we want in life? Or do we move back into our own space, try to get what we want, when we're alone on our own time? Those are three very different ways of going about getting your needs met, and those are the three social styles.
And what was so interesting to me when we first did this class last year was noticing how myself as a nine and my husband as a five, here we were sitting in this triad. And it gave me a lot of understanding about a dynamic that happened between us in the early years of our marriage. So we've been married 55 years. Things have worked a lot with Enneagram help. But before I knew any of this, in our early years, I realize now, both being withdrawing types, there was lots we didn't talk about. That if a problem would come up, it wouldn't get discussed. It wouldn't, the way I might have been withdrawing from conflict, the way my husband as a five is just a naturally withdrawing type. But there were things that, with my knowledge now, I would have probably pushed for more conversation to understand each other better. And that's one of the things the Enneagram offers is these ways to look at ourselves without judgment or blaming, but just see our differences and commonalities.
Right. And Elaine, your story brings up, an important point that is essentially our next set of triads is all about, hey, what happens when we don't get what we want or we don't get what we need? When our needs and wants aren't met, we're dealing with a new set of triads, which are classically called the harmony triads or the harmonic patterns. But you can really think of these triads as your style of dealing with conflict or of
Yes.
dealing with adversity, right? So when adversity hits and things aren't going your way, do you try to become more competent? Do you say, I should be more positive? Do you try to bring more urgency to the situation? A lot of different ways, that different types are engaging conflict or not. Our last set of triads is called the object relations triads. It's kind of heady language there, but bottom line is these triads are about our relationship to the world at large. What's our attitude towards the world? How do we feel the world treats us? There's basically three attitudes we're looking at here in the object relations triads. It's, do you have the attitude towards the world of, hey, the world leaves me frustrated. It's not quite the way I want it. It's always a little bit off. All right. Do you have the attitude towards the world of, I need to find the place where I'm comfortable and I need to kind of stay there, right?
Mhm.
Or do you have the attitude towards the world of rejection is out there, it's real, and I'm going to have to deal with that possibility somehow?
I just want to also say that our workshops are always they're small and personal. And we do a lot of discussion, and people have a chance to talk about all these things when they realize how some of this will come up in their lives. We talk about it. We meet in smaller groups and have time to really get into depth about this. It isn't just a Zoom lecture. We are the anti-Zoom lecture. So, any last words, Noah?
These are the hidden triads of the Enneagram, the ones you probably haven't heard about. So come on and dig them up with us.